Hey, welcome back to Rhodes Autos. We're going to do another PSA, and today we're going to be talking about buying a used car, how to know you're getting a good one, and how to know you're not just buying somebody else's problem or a piece of trash. We all know somebody that bought a new to them used car, and they didn't get very far before it broke down and left them stranded, and they were right back where they were when they started. They were looking for a car. We all know people that have been ripped off. We've all heard horror stories. We all know that, used car dealer is used as a pejorative to cut people down. It really shouldn't be. And I'm going to teach you how to separate the good used car dealers, the honest ones, from the crooked ones. And I would like to apologize for all my cars being dusty. See right there, we had a water main break. They had to dig up my whole meter and the road over there. And they're waiting for the meter pit area to settle before they will repave it, which means right now all the dust is blowing up on all my cars. So if you buy a car from me, I'll pay for your first car wash. I would wash it right now, but I have washed that one 3 times, washed that one twice. Mine was not dirty when I came here this morning, and it's dirty now. So it just doesn't matter. Look. Even my office door is dirty. Eventually they'll pave that and I can go back to having clean cars. Until then, let's quit getting sidetracked. So a few questions. What about the aftermarket warranties? Yeah, I sell those. Had about 15 companies offer me to sell their product. There's exactly 2, Cars Protection Plus and Superior Protection Plan. I sell their products. Side note, I am an XM car dealer. You saw that there. So if you buy a car from me, you get 90 days of XM radio for free. But first things first, there's some things you need to know before you ever walk into a dealership. Number 1, the car you're looking at. Do you know what you want? Because if you walk into a dealership as a buyer and you don't even know what you want, you're going to buy whatever that salesman wants you to buy that produces him the most money. Don't do that. Know what you're buying, because the car needs to fit you. It needs to fit your lifestyle. It needs to fit what you're doing with it. Are you towing and hauling a camper? You don't need my little bitty Dodge Dart. Look, I'm pointing there. You don't need the little bitty Dodge Dart. It's not going to do you any good if you're towing and hauling a camper. It can't do it. Towing capacity's not there. Do you need a bed of a truck? Then you need a truck. If you've got a bunch of kids, you need 3rd row. That Dodge Dart won't do you any good if you need 3rd row. That Acura MDX right there, that would be a great vehicle for you. So start with the basics. You're needing an SUV, you're needing a car. Most people have that part down. Next thing, I've seen a lot of bad advice from a lot of bad dealers out there telling people, oh, you should negotiate the price of the car from home, or, do all this and do all that. Don't do that. There's a ton of information you need to know before you know if you're even willing to put any money on the car, much less how much money. Don't get yourself roped into a situation where you feel like you're obligated to buy a car that's going to leave you stranded. Now, here you'll notice I've got laid out the inspections. And you notice out there's a copy in the windshield of every car. And that's because I kept forgetting to make a copy of this for my customers. So I got to the point that I just copy this and put it in every single car out there. Because I want you to leave with the inspection to know on this day that car was in that condition. And why does every dealer not provide this? Me personally, I think this should be required by law. At the bare minimum, this inspection should be required by law for every car dealer in the world. They should have to tell you its condition. It should not have to be green, but they should have to be honest. They should have to be able to tell you if something's wrong with that car. You should not buy a car with a bad engine and not know that you bought a car with a bad engine. I can't imagine a good reason a car dealer would have to sell a car with a bad engine. Unless, stupid kind of cheap and that you're buying something bad. But even then, that should be very rare, not their normal business. And so we're going to teach you how to avoid that, because dealers love to offer you a Carfax. Now, why would they offer you a Carfax? Because there's zero liability in a Carfax. Why do they not offer you a mechanical inspection? Because I'm legally responsible for everything on this paper. That's why you'll notice the mechanic listed at the top is Jeremy Rhodes. That's me, every time. Not my handwriting. My wife fills them out. I'm the one underneath the car taking the pictures. She's the one with the clipboard, putting her pretty handwriting on there because my handwriting's horrible. And so, point is, I'm the one doing these inspections because I know I'm legally liable for everything on this paper. So, look, if I sell you a car, let's find out which is the one with the most current date. 8/20, 8/26, 8/28. Here we go. 8/28. The current date, it is 8/29. So, as of yesterday, this Honda CR-V was in this condition. So if you bought this car and you got out there and you're like, hey, this says all new struts, and you get underneath it and the struts that are there have Honda logos and they're old, they have part numbers on them. Those part numbers a lot of times can be traced back to when they were manufactured. Legally, I would either have to pay whatever it costs to put all new struts on it, or I could buy the car back. Now that would be my choice. Okay, that is the one thing. If you get a dealer nailed down with an inspection, they get to choose if they're buy the car back at full price, every single penny you paid, including sales tax. They have to pay it all back, or they have to pay to put the car in the condition they told you it was in. So then you're like, hey, Jeremy, what about the subjective things? How do you protect yourself? Nothing subjective. There's my standard. So what makes it green? What makes it yellow? What makes it red? My standard is written on the back. It is the industry standard. I use the same one that everyone should be using. There are stricter standards that mechanic shops like to use when they're trying to sell you parts you don't need. And there are looser standards that crooked dealers sell you when they want to pretend that they've inspected a car that they haven't. I use the one right in the middle. It's the one everybody should be using. It's the one I use, and then I put it in writing for you to see. So, mechanical inspections, number one. If you're buying a used car, if it's over 10 years old, you want to see the mechanical inspection. You want the dealer to hand you a physical copy of the mechanical inspection. If he's not willing to do that, ask them if they looked at it. And if they say yes, be like, hey, I would like to record a video of you telling me that car doesn't need anything, it's mechanically sound, and it's good to drive. And they're probably going to tell you to get out the door, get lost, never come back. Why? Because they don't want to be held to any sort of standard. They want to sell you a broken car and make it your problem. And the minute you sign all that as is paperwork, that's exactly what you bought. For those of you that are screaming at the screen right now about the lemon law, I can't say what I'm thinking, but it ain't nice. All right? You do not know what you're talking about. The state of Indiana has the strictest lemon law of all 50 states, and I believe it's 15 months or 16 months and 60,000 miles or 16,000 miles. Look, that's how little I know about it, because it does not apply at all to old cars. The lemon law applies to a brand new car for the first, 16 months or 16,000 miles of the new car's life. Now, it applies to that new car when it's a used car within that time frame. But once you're getting down to a 10-year-old car, there is no lemon law. If the dealer sells you the car with no brakes, no engine, and no transmission, you sign the papers, you own it. It never even got off his lot. You still own that car. Do not trust the government to protect you with the lemon law. It does not protect you. And you trying to threaten the lemon law to a dealer, you just told him you know nothing, and you now own that broken car. He'll never take you serious, and he's sticking you with that car. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if you're buying from an individual, you literally have no protections at all. Definitely take it to a mechanic before you buy it if you get it from an individual. Now, from a dealer, if they will not give you an inspection report, ask them, would you be willing to pay for my mechanic to look at it? Now, 99.9% of the time, they're going to tell you no. If you come here and ask me if I will pay for your mechanic, no. No, I'm not going to pay for your mechanic. However, the Indiana Car Buyers Bill of Rights says you can pay for your own mechanic to look at it, and I cannot tell you no. That's all car dealers in the state of Indiana. If you want to pay your mechanic to look at it before the sale, the dealer is not legally allowed to tell you no. He must make the car available to you for you to take to your mechanic. Now, to protect myself, because I've had a few people scam me on that one, I do call your mechanic and confirm you have an appointment there, or that they'll see you as a walk-in, and I ask your mechanic to call me when you show up and when you leave. Because I did have a customer get out there and take a part off of a car. They literally took a car on a test drive, drove it to their house, took parts off, and then brought it back without those parts. The customer that did that is still in jail because I inspect the heck out of these. I have all kinds of pictures. I was able to prove he was the one that made it go missing. So theft is theft. Let's not do that. Back to you, car dealer, car buying. What do you need to know? The basics. Is the engine good? Is the transmission good? You know, what do you need to know about the car? If nothing's leaking to the ground, you're already in pretty good shape. Almost every major problem on a car starts with a fluid leaking to the ground. This is why in 30 minutes, it needs to run without overheating. No fluids need to hit the ground. The fans need to come on. Starter needs to start the car. Alternator needs to maintain the battery, and the car needs to start without being jump started. Every car should pass that, okay? Look, take a screenshot right now of that right there. Any car you're looking at, you can test that yourself. Take it on a 30-minute test drive, and it should pass that. If it can't pass that, you don't need to buy it. There's no excuse for a car being on a dealer's lot that can't meet that standard. A lot of the cars that do not pass my inspection that I take back to the auction or that I literally drive to the scrapyard can still pass this part of this inspection. That is so basic that even very bad cars can get through there. But listen, no good car should ever have an issue with that. If it's got an issue with that, it's not a good car. Move on, okay? Back to the Carfax. I'm not a Carfax dealer because they want $1,500 a month to be a Carfax dealer, and I couldn't see the value of that for me or my customers. Think about it. Who's actually paying for the Carfax? I sell about 12 cars a month, 15 on good months. What that means is you'd be paying an extra $100 for your car for me to be a Carfax dealer. And that's just in my opinion. You shouldn't have to do that because the Carfax for you is less than $50. So if you want a Carfax that bad, you can buy it yourself, and it's cheaper than me being a Carfax dealer and giving it to you, you know, air quote, for free, because you're going to pay for it anyway. So any dealer that's telling you they're giving you something free, it's in the price of their car. They're not paying for it out of their own pocket. It doesn't make sense. We just don't do that. Nobody does that. So we give you the auto check. Now this I do give you for free, because I get it for free. This doesn't cost me anything. Thanks to our Secretary of State in the state of Indiana, every individual person can get free auto checks for their car. You get 5 per year per person for free. You just set up a account with the Secretary of State's website right over there. You set up an account and you get 5 for free. I have had many people that I helped them set up those accounts so they could get the full auto check for free. Auto check. If I said Carfax, I take it back. It's the auto check that you can get for free. This is the auction quick check. I get this for free from the auction that I buy my cars at. So it's the first page of an auto check. I get that for free. If you want the detailed information, for me, for auto check, it's $800 a month. Carfax is $1,500. None of them seemed like a good deal for me, so I did not buy them, especially considering you can get that for free in the state of Indiana. The next thing, the value of the car. Now, this is a paid resource. It costs me $80 a month to be a black book dealer, and I give every single person that buys a car, I show them this paper. They put their initials on this paper right there, stating that that is the value of the car. They know what that car is worth. My price is always less than the value of that car. Matter of fact, on some cars, it's way less. We'll go to this one, the 98 GMC. This thing's worth $4,500. I got it listed for $2,200. To show you how much less, the rough value over there, focus phone, the rough value is $2,650. So I'm below the rough value on a perfectly good running and driving car. So that's one of the things you need to know. What is the car worth? Now, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Most of you already know how to look up a car, see what it's worth. Blue Book don't mean anything. What matters is Black Book. This is what the bank is going to use. That's what they're going to pay based on. I think Edmunds might give you stuff for free still. I'm trying to think of places you could go get it for free. Honestly, Black Book is I provide it for free to my customers. I don't know why a dealer couldn't provide it for free, because we're all paying for this. If they don't have a subscription to Black Book, they've got a subscription to something. They're either using NADA, Edmunds, they're using something. They're going to be able to print you the value of the car, because when we're at the auction, we need to know what the car is worth when we're buying it. So, yeah, they should be able to show you that you're not overpaying. Good rule of thumb, if you have a credit score over 650 and the bank's telling you you need a down payment, you're overpaying for the car. Because look, right here, the max value of this car, $9,450. So let's say I wanted $10,500 for this car. If you had a 650 credit score, the bank would tell you you need $1,000 down, because the most they will ever pay is that. So if you need a down payment and your credit score is over 650, more than likely, the dealer's overcharging you for your car. So you can use that. If they're not printing this, you can use that as a good rule of thumb. If you're under 650, you probably need a down payment no matter what. That's just the bank wants you to have some skin in the game before they're willing to put any money in the deal. Over here, we have the Blue Driver information. So Blue Driver is a scan tool that you all can buy on Amazon for I think they're $89. Look, I keep one in my pocket all the time. Way harder to do with one hand. We're at 17 minutes, so I'm gonna try to speed this along. Okay, connects to your phone, plugs into the OBD2 port, and tells you a lot of information about a car. Every dealer, in my opinion, should be required to give you the next 3 pieces of paper. So if you're following, that's 4 pieces of paper. Elect me to Congress, I will make it the law. I don't care who fights me on this. Fight me all you want. If you're being honest, you have no problem handing these 4 pieces of paper. The car is basically mechanically sound and safe to drive down the road. The brakes have measured millimeter depths that are safe. They're not ready to be changed. The coolant will not freeze at normal temperature for your area. It will not boil at normal temperature. The AC output is a written information. You don't just say, hey, the AC is cold. You give them a number. And that number, look, it's different on every car. Every AC puts out a different temperature. Why does that one say NA? Because it's red. That one, the AC don't work. So, they
my power level is now 24%. Please plug me in.
Same way my phone tells me when its power's low. They have to tell you if the car needs some work done to it. The next thing, this is the build spec sheet. This cost us absolutely nothing. It's just being a good person to provide it. The scan tool pulls that up. It decodes it from the VIN number. I know that was assembled in Belvedere. I know the check digit's an 8. I can tell you about the airbags and the safety features on the cars. This is built in. You just get that information. It costs nothing. Next, 0 codes. They should be required by law to run a OBD check, not just of the check engine light, but all the dash lights, bare minimum. I personally think they should run all system modules. That's the test I do. But at bare minimum, they should be required to run all the dash lights. So ABS, airbag, traction control, and check engine. If there's any codes, we should be required by law to tell you. That's my personal opinion, and vote me into Congress. I'll make it the law, because it should be the law. If you're buying a car and you're not looking at this paper, you're already making a huge mistake. So many things that make your car go to the junkyard show up here first. Next, way more important than zero codes, because I know that's some people screaming at the screen right now. What about the people that just clear the codes? That's why the third paper should be legally required. Distance since trouble codes cleared, 2,902 miles. That car has not had the codes cleared in almost 3,000 miles on a car that's only got 60,000 miles. So now you know you can confidently buy this car, and there's nothing going wrong with it. There's nothing mechanically. There's over 2,000 codes in the average car system nowadays. With all the computers, it monitors everything. If the transmission's slipping, there's a code. If the engine's misfiring, there's a code. If it's got the wrong air mix, there's a code. So having no codes it lets you know that you're well on the way to having a good car. The next thing, you want to know who did the service. And yeah, I told you, I'm not a Carfax dealer to sell the car, but I am a Carfax maintenance shop. I am one of the mechanics that report to Carfax. So when I do mechanical repairs, I put that in there. So yeah, we did a cabin air filter on that one. We checked the brakes. We did a safety inspection. You know, we look at our cars, and when I look at a car, I put it in there. Look, on the 98 GMC Jimmy, we are the ones that made the AC work. Did it have bridge sensor? Wasn't an option. I replaced the bridge sensor. That's what was wrong with it. And so we replaced the bridge sensor. We replaced the Schrader valve. And that AC is the coldest AC I've ever tested. At 34.9 degrees, it's colder than my truck. Surprised the bejesus out of me. And then I was wondering what in the world, how is it that cold? And yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'd like my truck to be that cold. Would be great. But yeah, you know, what did the dealer do? Is he willing to put it in writing? You know, you can get the Carfax maintenance history on your car for free. See, Carfax. Go to Carfax, set up an account. Once you've got your account set up, you can go to your garage. And once a car's in your garage, you can click on the car, click on service history, and now you can scroll through and read every last bit of service that was done to the car. So when was the last time the brakes were checked? When was the last time the timing belt was checked for the Honda Odysseys? That's really important on an Odyssey. Don't buy that without knowing if the timing belt's been checked. It's an expensive job, and it's something you will have to do. So, but that goes back to the codes. When those belts start to stretch, you end up with a code that says cam crank correlation. If you ever see a code that says cam crank correlation, you need a timing belt or timing chains. Don't buy the car. Make the dealer, make the person you're buying it from, make them do it, because it's about a $1,500 job. So if we can bring this all down to what you need to do when you're buying a used car to protect yourself, to make sure you're not buying junk, you're not buying someone else's problem. 1, is the dealer or person selling it willing to put in writing the mechanical condition of the car? If you guys want a copy of this, come see me. I will literally, bring me a thumb drive and I'll give you a blank copy. You can print off as many of these as you want and inspect your own cars. I created this. You're not going to find it online anywhere. I literally wasted a week of my life creating this, and then every time I filled it out, I changed it. If I go back through my history, there's 15 different forms, because it's changed over the years as I've, gotten some feedback from customers on things that they believed I missed that I shouldn't have, as I paid for repairs that I wasn't legally required to. And, things, if I honestly believe that I shouldn't have missed it, I just make it right. I'm that guy. My wife says I'll never be rich because of that, but you know what? So be it. I'll die and go to heaven poor, but I'll die and go to heaven. It's better there than hell. So be it. Money is not everything. It's a lot, but it ain't everything. The unofficial motto of this place: it's not that hard to do the right thing. I so need to print that on the building. I got over there, it says love everyone. Underneath that, I needed to say it's not that hard to do the right thing. and get all the other dealers and all the other people to just follow along. So mechanical inspection, basic DTC scan tool. You can buy really expensive ones. I've got a $5,000 one right there. Snap-on Solus. You know, I've got, actually that's another really expensive one there. So I've got some expensive scan tools. But this $80 one honestly outshines most of those. For the really deep diag, like the kind of stuff you're never going to do at home, yeah, that's why I own the really expensive scan tools. I need those. For you, a do-it-yourselfer, you just get that $80 thing I showed you. I don't make a single penny by telling you to buy that, but buy it. It's worth it. Trust me. Carfax maintenance history. You want that. That's just the maintenance history of the car. It's going to let you know if you're buying a car that was well maintained or if you're buying a car that was left out. Hey, here's the other thing it's going to show you. Manufacturer recall issued. Okay? So the shift cable bushing, which I'll be real, I rate that at a very low priority level. But the shift cable bushing on that car was recalled. Now, to know if yours got done, you got to call, this one's a Dodge. So you'd have to call Dodge, give them your VIN number, and they'll tell you if yours was done. If yours was done, you go back to your Carfax. Look, that one should be in here, right here. And then right there, manufacturer recall, mark as completed. I'm not going to do it because I haven't called Dodge. I don't know if it is completed or not. But it is 100% free. You can call that number right there and get scheduled to have that replaced for free. As a dealer, they do not like to do this for me. And if I check a car in, they're going to hold it for like a month or longer before they'll ever give it back. I can't afford to get the free service because of how long they hold that car. They're evil. But for you as a customer, they'll have you in and out like in minutes, and it is free. So call that. If it needs done, you can get it done for free. And then you can click mark completed. If it is already done, you can mark completed. If it's not done, Dodge will mark it as complete when they do it, or they should check your Carfax again after. That's basically it. If you just, number one, check for basic reliability. You don't want to be looking at JD Power. Man, 27 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up now. JD Power is all the wrong information. They literally give the award to whoever pays them the most. That's why Chevy keeps winning JD Power awards, even though they have some of the least reliable cars on the road, in my opinion, as a mechanic that's been doing this 15 years. That's a pretty darn good opinion, but JD Power is not where you want to go. Consumer Reports is actually a pretty good place to go because they are the consumer, you, reporting what you did when you got your car. You're going to find out GMC Acadia, Chevy Traverse, those are junk cars. Don't buy them. Literally, stay away. They are absolute garbage. They will leave you stranded. They have timing chain issues, engine issues. They have oil consumption issues. They have transmission issues. They have torque converter issues. That's literally just those cars, like everything that's commonly known. And that's all the really big expensive stuff on the car. Go buy yourself, an Acura MDX, a Toyota Camry, the older Jeep Grand Cherokee with the straight six, the older GMC Jimmy. Like, I don't hate Chevy completely. Their old ones were good. Anything up to about 05 was good. Just look up the car that you're interested in first. Make sure that it's known to be reliable. If you're local, you can always send me a message. I let people know all day long what is on my do not buy list. I have a bunch of people that are like, oh, what would you give me trade in for this? Nothing. It's on my do not buy list. I don't buy them. I don't sell them because they're known for being bad cars. Because I hate it on GM, I'll go ahead and give you a Dodge product. The Journey is on my do not buy list. I don't buy them. I don't sell them. For Toyota, the Toyota Echo was on my do not buy list. They were mechanically sound. Their frame rail was too weak. It would literally, you could hit a pothole and total that car. So every manufacturer has something I don't buy, and every manufacturer has something I do buy. I keep a really extensive list of cars that are good and bad. You need to either get a hold of one of those lists or investigate for yourself, find out what's good and bad before you even start your journey. That's step one. Step two, mechanical inspection. Step three is going to be codes. Read the codes, know when they were cleared last. Step four, know what the mechanical history of the car is. Did it get serviced a lot? That 2013 Toyota Camry, you might be like, 268,000 miles. Jesus, man, it's not worth anything. It's actually worth a lot. One owner. According to Carfax, it's worth up to $9,800 or Black Book. I got it listed at $5,000, below the rough value. Look, a permanent code. At the auction, they cleared that code. It had an EVAP incorrect purge flow. They cleared that code. So when I bought it, it did not have a check engine light on. When I got it home, I found that check engine light. I changed purge valve on 8/18 of 25. We've driven it 9 miles since I've changed the valve, but that was literally the only problem. And look there. I put it in writing on the Carfax that I changed the purge valve. What else do you find? 16 pages of Carfax maintenance history. That one owner didn't do anything themselves. They took it back to the dealer or a repair shop every single time for every bit of maintenance. And right now, if you told me, Jeremy, you can pick any car on your lot, and if you get to California, Florida, DC, and then back to Indiana without having a breakdown, all you had to do was put gas in the vehicle. Actually, that many miles. You did one oil change and put gas in the vehicle. We'll give you $1 million. You have to pick a car off your lot and go. That one right there. Not allowed to do anything to it. Just have to leave right here, right now. I'm taking the one with the most miles on it because I have personally had all of these on my lift. I have inspected every last one of these cars, and that's the one that has an absolutely perfect service history. The miles don't matter. It matters how the miles got there. That one will outlive me, you, and your grandkids because it was well maintained. And I do mean well maintained. 90% of that is the oil changes. They change the oil every 3,000 miles, and that's the fastest way to make sure your car will last forever. Now, if I wanted to drive in the most comfort and the most luxury, the MDX, by far, it is as close as you can get to my wife's Expedition as humanly possible. That thing is an extremely nice car. Actually, it rides smoother than her Expedition. And then those two stand way out for that test. And by the way, you can ask the dealer that and get their opinion. So that's it. That's all I've got for you for this video. The first most important thing to know that you're not just buying someone else's problem, to know that you're not just buying junk. What do you look at? What do you do? Now you know.